Hey, hey, hey. It is Apple Cup 2018, and I haven't been doing very good with my Husky videos lately because at this point the season is just kind of, you know, it's just going. Obviously, the playoffs were out of the question a long time ago, but we could play for the Pac-12 title. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a little sad if a team this flawed, as flawed as this Washington Husky team, wins the Pac 12, then that's an indictment on the Pac 12. But I will be thrilled if we find a way to do it. So, well, in order to do it, we got to win today. Got to win today. Got to go to Pullman and get it. So, basically, I didn't make a video about the game last week because whatever. We just went through the motions. We beat Oregon State pretty good. Played fine. We didn't play great. We didn't play stellar. We didn't set the world on fire. We didn't impress anybody, but we did win pretty handily. Offense looked good. Defense gave up a little bit, but they didn't give up too many points. They just gave up yards. Given how bad OSU is, I maybe expected a little bit more, but what we got is totally fine. And I understand that, there are more important things going on right now than how we play in one particular game against a really bad team. So, we won last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, and now we have a meaningful Apple Cup. Washington State has a tiny, tiny chance of making the playoff, but I think we all know that that's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. My camera's not focusing well right now. Is that better? Yeah, okay. I think that's a little better. Um, yeah, so they have a tiny chance of getting into the playoff, but it's realistically, it's not going to happen. But they can obviously win the Pac 12 conference, and so can we. So there are big stakes here. And we're in a position that we have not been in a while. We're going into this game, and WSU is better than the Huskies. The Cougars are better than the Huskies right now. They've had a better regular season, they've won more games, they've mostly looked better. They have one loss, just a kind of a weird game they played against the Trojans, who are not a very good team. I watched that game. It was obviously close. It came down to a missed field goal at the end, but they're playing really good. I mean, I watched most of the game they played the other week where they put up 69 points against Arizona State. I saw this Husky team play Arizona State earlier this year, and they didn't look nearly that good. So, I mean, they had 55 points at half, or 52, or whatever. They had, they were putting it on them early in that game, and it was over by midway through the second quarter. So, I look at that and I go, can we compete with that? Can we keep up with that? Because my thing is, I know over the last several years we have matched up very well with the Cougars. Like, just as an example, last year. Last year I thought it was going to be an evenly matched Apple Cup. It was two pretty good teams that were not great. I think both teams had two losses. Maybe the Cougars had three. I can't remember exactly, but I thought it was an evenly matched game. I thought it could go either way, and we beat the crap out of them. It was not even a contest. It was not even a game. There was they were helpless, and I think it's because we match up well, or we did last year anyway, because we have good secondary, we have a good pass defense, and that's what Washington State wants to. Sorry, guys. Come on, come on. Okay, that's better. And that's what Wazoo wants to do. So it just seemed to play into our hands, where we could just lean on our secondary and our pass rush to get Wazoo off the field, and at that point we would just pile up rushing yards and get the win. And keeping that in mind, I could see something like that happening today in a few hours when we take them on. But what I saw last week and what I've seen a few times this year from this Husky pass defense, it's not as good as it was in these last few years. Like these last few years, I think we've been blowing out the Cougars every time we played them, like 4 or 5 times straight. I think the last 4 times every year since Chris Peterson and Jake Browning got here, I think we've just been bull rushing them. So to me, I can look at that and go, oh, well, it's a matchup in our favor, so we should win this game. And I wouldn't shock me if that happened, but I'm not convinced that we can take advantage of the Cougar flaws the way we did in the last several years. So if Gardner Minshew goes out there today and tosses all over our secondary for 400 yards, then I'm going to take a look at this Husky team and I'm going to be like, yeah, given what we've been dealing with so far this season, okay, it's not shocking. Like last year I thought it was going to be an evenly matched Apple Cup and it really wasn't, but I did know that their strengths played into our strengths really well. I'm just not sold that we can lean on that this year. It feels a little different. So, do I think we'll win? I don't, not really. Hopefully, I'm making a video later today where I say that I was wrong and the team gutted it out and won. But um, the way we've been giving up, some of these big passing plays to some of these teams that we've been playing, even last week against a bad Oregon State team, UCLA had some too. It was like the secondary. I think the secondary is really good, but it's not the pass rush more than anything is what hurts. But even the secondary is not as great as I was hoping it would be based off what I saw even earlier this year. So excited. And obviously, it's cool to have a school in your state, even if it's not your school, doing very well and getting the opportunity to maybe go out there and win a major bowl game. But of course, for tonight, it's all about the Huskies. Um, I'm not worried about our offense. Our offense is going to score decently. It's not going to run up and down the field, though, I don't think. So, what we need is a pass rush on Minshew, and we need the secondary to play well. All right. See you guys tonight. Bow down to Washington.